Hey, how's it going? Rich Lee here, and with FIFA 15 due out later this month, EA have started releasing the top 50 best players in FIFA 15 Ultimate Team. Now, they're releasing them in groups of 10, so I'm going to be looking at the first 10 here, the 50th best player through to the 41st best player in the game. So yeah, I'm going to be looking at the new FIFA 15 ratings, comparing them to how they were last year, and yeah, just providing my comments on the changes that have been made and whether or not I think they're fair. Okay, so at number 50 we've got Giorgio Chiellini, the Italian centre-back. And he's been downgraded now from an 86 to an 84. His pace has been downgraded by 1. His shooting's been downgraded by 4. His passing has been downgraded by 11, which is a massive difference. His dribbling's gone down by 2. His defending's actually gone up by 1. And with the heading attribute changed to physical attribute, he's gone up by 4 on that area now, because obviously it brings in areas like strength and everything, so he's gone up on that side of things. But yeah, but in FIFA 13 he was an 84 rating, and then he randomly went up to an 86 rating last year. So I think he's probably been downgraded to an 84 this year from an 86 last year, because he got a team of the week card last season. He also got a team of the season card, and he ended up being a 91 rating. So I think that's probably a bit high. So they've given him an 84 starting rating now, expecting him to get team of the week cards and things, I think. So I think they've given him that rating because they expect him to get upgraded throughout the year, and they think that'll make it fairer and they'll have a more decent rating come the end of the year. I think that's probably the thinking behind that decision. I saw this coming before the World Cup because he was given an 84 rating in the World Cup game. So yeah, it's not really too much of a surprise, but he's only 30 years old and he's been downgraded by 2. But like I say, last year he was upgraded by 2, so I guess if you compare it to the last couple of years, it makes sense that he's an 84, which is what he was in FIFA 14, FIFA 13 even. It does seem a little bit weird, but at the same time you can understand it. And yeah, so he's gone down from an 86 to an 84, but he still looks like he's going to be absolutely solid centre-back, and yeah, it looks like he'll be a player well worth picking up again in FIFA 15. Okay, so at number 49 we've got Pirlo, and yeah, he's also been downgraded. He's gone down from an 86 to an 84, but he's in his mid-30s now, so that kind of explains a lot. Like, when you get that to that age in FIFA, the rating starts shooting down, and yeah, it's definitely happened to Pirlo this year. He only went down from an 87 to an 86 last year, and now he's gone down 2 ratings, which is probably fair. But if you look at his pace, it's been absolutely killed in FIFA 15. He's gone from a 58 pace in FIFA 14 to a 43 pace in FIFA 15, so that's pretty terrible. And yeah, his shooting has also been given a massive downgrade, going from a 76 to a 69. His passing's remained the same at 91. His dribbling's remained the same at 82. His defending's got a massive decrease as well. It's gone from a 67 to a 55. So in numerous key areas he's gone down quite a bit, but his physical attribute is a 59 and his heading was 52 before. So you can see that he's reasonably physical, better than his heading statistic on its own was anyway. So yeah, he's well, I don't know really. I don't think he's going to be a great player to play with because of that pace. And also the defending's pretty awful. Like, you could use him as a defensive midfielder if he didn't have such terrible defending, but because of the pace, like, he's not really going to be much use playing central midfield, I don't think. But with 55 defending, I don't think he's going to be a great central defensive midfielder either. So yeah, I don't know how he's really going to fit into the team that well. I mean, he's got good passing and good dribbling, but with the pace that he's got, like, you don't really want to be dribbling with him. You're only going to be using him for passing, and so yeah, I think he's probably not going to be a particularly well-used player in FIFA 15 just because of the pace, and I just think he's been killed off basically in this game. He's still got an 84 rating, he's still in the top 50, but it's not a very good card in my opinion. So I don't think many people will be playing with Pirlo in FIFA 15 other than for his amazing beard and for the fact that he's Pirlo. Okay, so number 48 we've got Xabi Alonso, and he's another player that's received a downgrade, but again he's in his 30s now, and yeah, he's going down in his abilities, and yeah, he didn't receive any kind of inform cards last year, so that would explain why he's gone down. But given that he hasn't received any inform cards last year and he's 33 now, he probably should be downgraded more than he has been, but he's obviously still a really solid player, and they decided to honour that by sticking his stats fairly similar this year and just downgrading him from an 85 to an 84. Okay, so his pace has remained the same. His shooting's gone down by 4 from a 75 to a 71. His passing has gone down from an 88 to an 86. His dribbling's gone down by 2 from a 70 to a 68. His defensive statistic has gone down 3 from an 81 to a 78. and his physical statistic is 72 now, and his heading before was only a 66. So you can see there that now that more things have been taken into consideration, that area of his game's gone up. And yeah, I mean, it looks like a pretty solid card, to be honest. Like, it's not too dissimilar to his card last year. The differences aren't that major. I don't think they make too much of a difference. And yeah, I think he'll be a good central defensive midfielder in FIFA 15. Like, by the looks of his stats, he's pretty much going to be the same as he was last year, which is a decent, solid defensive midfielder. Okay, so at number 47, we've got Iker Casillas. And in 2 years, he's gone down from an 89 rating to an 84 rating because he's not been playing. And yeah, I think that's fair, to be honest. Like, he doesn't really play in the league anymore. He plays in Europe and the cup games a bit, but yeah, he's playing a lot less the last couple of years than he has been prior to that. So he's gone down from an 89 in FIFA 13 to an 86 in FIFA 14 and an 84 now in FIFA 15. So yeah, like his rating keeps going down because he's been kept on the bench so much, but he's still a solid keeper, and yeah, I'm sure he'll still be a good addition to any team in the game. If you're playing with a La Liga team, Casillas should be a solid keeper still. And yeah, like, his stats haven't changed too much. His diving's gone from an 89 to an 87. His handling's gone down by 1 from an 80 to a 79. His kicking's remained the same at 67. His reflex has gone down slightly from a 90 to an 88. His speed has remained the same at 65, and his positioning's gone down 2 ratings from an 81 to a 79. So I don't think the changes that have been made are going to make too much difference. And yeah, he should be a good keeper again in the game, even though he's been left on the bench for the last couple of years. Yeah, he's still a solid keeper in the game, and he's not too different to who he was in FIFA 14. So at number 46, we've got Fabregas, and for some reason he has been downgraded from an 86 to an 84, which to me just makes no sense whatsoever. Like, he was an 87 in FIFA 13, got downgraded to an 86 in FIFA 14, got numerous inform cards, and now he's been downgraded to an 84. It just doesn't make sense. He's had a major money move to Chelsea. He looks solid for them. He's already had an inform card for Chelsea. And yeah, they've downgraded him. I don't really understand that. I don't understand why he's been downgraded. He's like at the peak of his career, and he's been downgraded. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't know what EA are thinking with this one. He definitely doesn't deserve a downgrade. If anything, he should have stayed the same, if not been given an upgrade even. So yeah, being downgraded by 2 makes no sense whatsoever, and I honestly don't know what they were thinking. Okay, so his pace has stayed the same at 68. His shooting stayed the same at 79. His passing's gone down by 2 from a 90 to an 88. His dribbling's gone down by 1 from an 82 to an 81. His defensive statistic has gone down from a 66 to a 64. And with heading now changed to physical, he's gone from a 70 to a 63. So not major differences. I mean, obviously now that other things are taken into consideration as well as heading, he's gone down from a 70 to a 63 for physical. And yeah, that's disappointing that he's so weak, basically. But he's still a solid player, and I think that he'd still be a good addition to any squad. I mean, his ratings are pretty much the same, and he's already had an inform card in FIFA 14 for Chelsea. I'm sure he'll get plenty more as the season goes on. I'm sure he's going to be amazing at Chelsea. He's really good at astute signing for Jose Mourinho. And yeah, I think as the season goes on, he'll get quite a few inform cards. He's already had one 89 rated inform card in FIFA 14 this season, so I think as the season goes on, he'll get a few inform cards, maybe even make it into the team of the season. And yeah, that 84 rating will soon go up. I don't think he'll be staying at that for all season. Okay, so at number 45, we've got Hugo Lloris, and he's gone up from an 84 in FIFA 14 to an 85 in FIFA 15, and he was actually an 86 in FIFA 13, so as you can see, he's moving back up again, as he probably shouldn't have been given a downgrade in the first place. And yeah, it's a pretty solid rating again. His diving has remained the same at 86. His handling's gone up by 1 from an 80 to an 81. His kicking's actually gone down by 3 from a 74 to a 71. His reflexes have stayed the same at 89. His speed has gone up by 2 from a 63 to a 65. And his positioning has stayed the same at 81. So yeah, his card's pretty much the same as last season. It's an 85 now rather than an 84, but should play fairly similarly, and yeah, I can't see it feeling too different to his FIFA 14 card. And yeah, as I say, he's got pretty much the same rating now, and yeah, should be a solid keeper in FIFA 15, just like he was in FIFA 14. Yeah, so yeah, if you're playing with BPL squad, I think Lloris will be a solid keeper to have, and with those stats, I think you can't really go wrong with him. Quality keeper, and he was good in FIFA 14, and it looks like he's going to be good in FIFA 15 again as well. So yeah, decent keeper, worth investing in if you're playing with a BPL team. Okay, so number 44, we've got Javier Martinez, and his rating's actually gone up by 1 this season from an 84 to an 85. And yeah, he's changed position from central defensive midfield to centre back this year. So yeah, like his pace has gone down from a 57 to a 53. His shooting has gone down from a 62 to a 61. His passing has gone down from a 76 to a 72. His dribbling has gone down from a 72 to a 68. His defending has remained the same at 84. And he previously had 82 for heading, and he's now got 85 for physical. So yeah, it's gone up slightly now that the system's changed. And so yeah, he's had downgrades in pretty much every area, but changed position from a central defensive midfielder to a centre back, and that has boosted his rating. And he's gone from an 84 to an 85. Don't know if he really deserves those massive downgrades that he's had in some areas. He's still only in his mid-20s, and yeah, to have been downgraded so much in so many areas, it's a bit weird. But I guess that's reflected in his position change. They just thought his stats needed changing about for his position change. I don't know really, but yeah, I guess that's why the change has been made. But it doesn't really make too much sense to me to change so massively for someone who's only like 26. But there you go. Okay, so at number 43 we've got Sergio Busquets, and he's stayed the same as he has done for a few years now. He's stayed at an 85 rating, and yeah, his stats aren't too different. His pace has remained at a 56. His shooting's gone up from a 58 to a 59. His passing's gone up from a 77 to a 78. His dribbling's remained the same at 75. His defending's gone down slightly from an 83 to an 81. And with the physical attribute, he's now an 80, whereas with heading alone, he was only a 71. So obviously that's made a difference to him in that area. It's pushed him up a bit, and you can see that he's better in the other areas, and he's got an 80 for physical attributes, so that's pretty good. Nice physical central defensive midfielder. So yeah, like he's remained pretty much the same. Like should play pretty similarly to how he did in FIFA 14. Stayed the same rating, which is fair enough. He's in his mid-20s, and yeah, he's playing alright and remained the same rating. So yeah, that seems fair enough. Okay, so at number 42 we've got the Bayern Munich centre-back Jerome Boateng, and he's gone up from an 83 to an 85. Now he actually started FIFA 14 with an 81 card, but had a winter upgrade to an 83, and he's now gone up by 2 again, and he's risen to an 85, so yeah, that's pretty good for him. His pace has gone up slightly from a 75 to a 77. His shooting's gone down by 1 from a 51 to a 50. His passing has gone down by 6 from a 72 to a 66. His dribbling has gone up by 2 from a 67 to a 69. His defending has gone up from an 82 to an 83. And his physical stat is 82, which is exactly the same as what his heading stat was. Yeah, to me the card seems pretty similar. So the ratings aren't all that different, and I therefore don't really understand why he's been given a +2 from an 83 to an 85. Like, it just doesn't look all that different to what he was before. Obviously, when you see the full card breakdown, you'll be able to see the rises in other areas that may justify the rise by 2 ratings, but based on those statistics, I don't really understand why he's risen by a 2, to be honest. Like, obviously, he's a solid centre-back, but he looks very similar to what he was in FIFA 14 after the winter upgrade, and he's gone up by 2 ratings. So yeah, I don't really understand that, but when we see the full stats breakdown, maybe it'll make more sense. Okay, so finally then we've got number 41, and it's Man United's Juan Mata. Now, he had an 87 rated card in FIFA 14. He obviously only really played half a season. He wasn't used that much in the first half of last season at Chelsea. Played pretty well in the second half with Man United, but obviously only playing half a season, he's been given a downgrade of 2, which seems fair enough. Like I say, he kind of missed the first half of the season playing for Chelsea, wasn't used that much, and yeah, that would justify the downgrade, and yeah, it kind of makes sense. But his pace has gone down by 4 from a 78 to a 74, his shooting's gone down by 1 from a 76 to a 75, his passing's actually gone up by 1 from an 83 to an 84, his dribbling's remained the same at 87, his defending has been absolutely killed. It wasn't that great to begin with. He's gone from a 45 to a 31 for defending, which is pretty awful. And his heading was 64, but now it's overall physical statistic, he's a 60. So yeah, he hasn't changed that much in many areas, but his defending is absolutely atrocious now. going from a 45 to a 31, which is obviously explains why he's been given that downgrade. I don't know if he really deserved such a massive downgrade on defending, but he just basically won't be able to defend at all now. I guess that doesn't really matter too much. He's a central attacking midfielder, so that downgrade doesn't really affect him too much, but any tackles you do try and make, he'll probably fail with that kind of level of defending, and yeah, it could be a bit tricky if you get tackled and try and get the ball back with Matty. It's probably not going to happen. Okay, so that's that then. That's the first 10 players, 50 through to 41. And yeah, my thoughts on him and how it compares to the FIFA 14 cards. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.